A calm weekend, but that's not the case next week. Hello, I'm Philip Duncan. Thank you for joining us for our forecast for the weekend and also the outlook for all of next week. And we're kicking off with the animated wind map, and we've added the air pressure today. Usually we do this when there's a storm or a low coming in, but I thought because we've got this enormous high, why don't we show that? So that's the area you see in white. High pressure up to 1040 hectopascals in the middle. If you live on the west coast, take a look at your barometer today. It'll be pretty high up. And in fact, if you want to see barometric pressure trends, because a lot of people have been asking me, where do we find this? If you go to ruralweather.co.nz, that's our brand new website, ruralweather.co.nz. If you go down, you'll see detailed data, and you can click on that to see air pressure trends for exactly where you are for the next 10 days out. Very helpful tool if you're trying to track where the storms are and where the highs and lows are. So at the moment, the big high is rolling in. We still have a southerly flow on the eastern side, but most places really do just have light winds. So Saturday looks like this. Not much going on. That's all for me. All right, it's an easy day. Just one or two showers maybe up in the far north. Otherwise it is settled, sunny, and some cloudy areas will smudge the coastlines. On Sunday there is a change. The high weakens just a little bit and it's centred over the north. So the North Island's pretty much got a very similar Saturday and Sunday. But the South Island changes on Sunday, subtropical winds coming down, and Saturday's already several degrees above average. Sunday gets even warmer and windier, and that will help push up temperatures as well into some parts of the North Island. And once we get to Monday, that subtropical part of it now coming over the North Island, windy with nor'westers over the South Island, and a cold front slowly moving northwards with a developing low. And that's why next week's weather is very different to this weekend. We've really got a typical spring cold front coming on through. Monday's a warm, settled day in the North Island. Well, settled's probably not the right word, as the winds will be picking up, but it's not going to be stormy and it's not going to be pouring with rain. There just might be a couple of showers. The winds do pick up around Cook Strait. They might get to gale force in that area. Now let's go to Tuesday. That's when we start to see a low developing. Now the models aren't really sure about exactly where this forms. Some show it out a little further to the west, others show it a little further out to the east. Either way, it's going to deepen a little bit and generate more rain as that front moves up the country. Often a cold front in spring completely decimates, falls apart as it heads northwards, but if this one gets a low forming on Tuesday, that will just spark a little more energy and get some rain in there, which would be actually great timing with all the warm sunny weather that we're getting through at the moment. So that will really help balance things out. Now by Wednesday, we're into the spring-like windy westerlies. They are back again. They're west to southwest, depending on where you are. In fact, it turns even southerly for a time around Southland, and it does get wintry next week down in the South Island. We've got a temperature drop of nearly 10 degrees coming. You can read that on the Weather Watch news page and on our free app. Now, as we move through next week, Thursday, you can see that colder change. The big stormy stuff out to the east over the Chatham Islands. They've got a rough wintry day. We've got a south to southwesterly on Thursday. It will be a colder day nationwide. There'll be some snow on the mountains and ranges, but it's probably not going to get right down to very low levels at a serious sort of point, because basically the air temperatures are still too high. And even with this cold change, you have to remember right now we are several degrees above average. So even with a temperature drop of 10 degrees, that doesn't really make us too cold. And our final map is for next Friday with high pressure drifting towards northern New Zealand. We still are a little bit cold, but basically the winds are fading away and the showers are easing, and by the end of next week, this high is coming in for the last weekend of September, which is also the kickoff for daylight saving, and behind it, more of the windy westerlies. So a short-lived but cold snap coming next week, so make the most of the weekend. It looks mild, it looks settled, it looks fantastic actually, but like I say, just a bit cloudy in some of the coastal areas. That is all from me. We'll see you again on Monday.